I've been hearing all about the California superblooms that are a once in a decade phenomenon because we go through periods of drought and then torrential rain, which we've been getting a lot this past winter. So this week I decided to check out a few parks in the Bay Area where you can supposedly find wildflowers and see if I'm lucky enough to get a glimpse. So this did end up becoming a 2-day adventure. On the first day, I headed up North Bay with some friends to check out China's Camp State Park. But first, we needed to fill up before our hike. And Jen found this cute cafe called Fox and Kit in San Rafael. They describe themselves as a European-style coffee house with exceptional interior design, and it's also a playground for kids, which I think is pretty revolutionary, so parents can relax and enjoy some time to themselves while their kids are entertained. It's kind of like it's giving elevated McDonald's jungle gym. So we ended up ordering coffee and pastries. I got the latte with a bacon cheese pretzel croissant, and Chesley ordered the drip coffee with lavender syrup and the Queen Amant. The latte was pretty good, but I thought Chesley's coffee was only okay. It wasn't anything special. The pretzel croissant was decent. It did hit the spot for something savory in the morning. Brina got the matcha latte and looked so good. The presentation was 10 out of 10. And I think Jen and Jonathan also ordered some lattes, and those looked really good too. After a quick breakfast fuel up, we were ready to head out. There was a lot of parking, so there were no issues finding a spot. And we were even able to park right next to the trailhead, which was really convenient. I was already excited by all the greenery we saw at the start of the shoreline trail. A lot of lush, tall green grass and trees, and we even saw a deer at the very start. So I think that's a good sign. One thing to notice that this trail is also really popular with mountain bikers, so we saw tons of bikers pass us during the hike. It can be pretty challenging sharing a trail with bikers since the trails are so narrow at some places. And it can also be kind of annoying to have to stop every time a biking group wants to pass you. But we were in no rush, so we took it slow and easy. This is a pretty easy hike. There's not a lot of elevation gain and it's mostly shaded, so overall is a very pleasant stroll. And I think because of all the rain, this whole park just felt alive. Like so much greenery, green leaves, green grass, the air smelled fresh. It was wonderful. About an hour into the hike, we went up this hill and it was really windy up top, but the view was incredible. I felt like I was transported into a Studio Ghibli film. After about a few more minutes of walking, we came across the largest patch of wildflowers we would see on this entire hike. I'm not sure what purple and yellow flowers these are, but they grew all over the hillside. So we stopped and took some photos. We ended up stopping at this gravelly pebble beach for a quick break. Kelly, bless her soul, went to test out the waters for us, and it was very cold. Probably not somewhere you would want to swim. The wind really started to pick up, and we were getting pretty hungry, so we decided to head back. Although we didn't end up seeing a ton of wildflowers, I still really like this park and this trail overall and highly recommend it. You get to see diverse landscapes from wetlands, forests, meadows, rolling green hills, and even the ocean. After our hike, we went to a pupusa spot nearby called Pupuseria Blanquita in San Rafael. They're known for their organic pupusas and other Salvadorian specialties like tamales, empanadas, and yuca with chicharron. It was a cozy little spot, mom and pop vibes, and the food was made fresh, and the portion sizes won't leave you hungry at all. This is Eric and Kelly's tamale. They ordered it. I didn't try any, but he said it was really good. We ordered three kinds of pupusas, one with beef and cheese, one with the pork bean and cheese, and the chorizo with cheese. I also ordered the chicken empanada, which I thought was, it was okay. We also ordered the yuca with chicharron to share. It was fried to golden perfection, but I'm actually not a huge fan of the root vegetable, and I felt like the chicharron was a little dry, so I don't think I would order this again. But it was nice to try it for at least once. And that was our day one attempt at finding super blooms. Our next attempt to find super blooms took us to three other parks in the Bay Area. I found this guide online from someone who created a whole Google map that pinpoints every spot worth checking out in California that's known for wildflower sightings. The first place we went to was Sweeney Ridge Trail in Pacifica, which is about 25 minutes south of San Francisco. It was about 10 a.m. when we arrived, and it was bright and sunny out. The weather was lovely.
Stop it.
We hiked about 2 miles or so in and saw absolutely no wildflowers. There were rolling hills of green, but nary a flower in sight. Okay, except for this small cluster of flowers we saw growing off the edge of the trail. So we hopped back into the car to check out the next spot. I wasn't looking to go anywhere super far since I didn't want to stay overnight outside, so we kept to parks within about an hour's driving distance of San Francisco. And it's kind of funny because we saw more super blooms on the side of the road and at random spots on the highway than we did at the park so far. The next place we stopped at was Pillar Point Bluff near San Mateo. On the way up the trail, we saw a big cluster of these yellow sand verbenas, which would be the only wildflowers we see on this hike. This trail gives you views of the Pacific Ocean and the bay once you hike up to the bluff top. It was very windy here, so pro tip, bring a beanie or a hat and a sweater, because even though it was sunny, the wind gave me a runny nose.
Is this a super bloom?
While we didn't see any other flowers, I think the view up here was worth the visit anyways. We hopped back into the car and decided to try one last spot before calling it quits because we were hungry. And third time's the charm, right? We arrived at Edgewood Park near Redwood City and it looked very promising. Luckily, we met some fellow hikers who were also looking for wildflowers, and they actually saved us a ton of hiking time by telling us which trail to look for. They said that we should hike the Sunset to Serpentine Trail, so we actually hopped back into the car and drove over to the other trailhead instead. And good thing we listened to their advice because about 5 minutes into the trail, we spotted a meadow of wildflowers. Okay, I'll admit this wasn't the once in a decade super bloom I was envisioning in my head or what I saw in the articles and TikTok videos, but I was just happy to have found some flowers after hiking 4 different trails at 4 different parks over the course of 2 days. I learned to be content. And I also heard from a friend that those crazy super blooms you see on social media are actually all located in Southern California, not NorCal. But if you do know of any other good spots, let me know in the comments so I can go fulfill my dreams of spring. Tired and hungry, we headed over to San Mateo for a late lunch. We went to this northern Chinese dumpling place called Dough Zone. And this is my second time here, and I thought it was pretty good the first time I came, so I want to try other things on their menu. I ordered the crab xiaolongbao, the pork xiaolongbao, the wontons and chili oil, the spicy beef pancake roll, and the cold noodle with Sichuan sauce. It sounds like a lot of food, but trust me, their portions are really small, so you can try a lot of different things. The beef pancake roll came out first. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. The green onion pancake, as the shell was dry and flaky but didn't have much flavor, and the beef inside could have been marinated better, and they put lettuce in it, which tasted weird to me. Traditionally, they put cucumbers, scallions, and cilantro, not lettuce. Then came out the xiaolongbao, which I had the first time I came, and they were good. I'd give them like a 7 out of 10. It had some good soup in them, but the skin was kind of dry. If you want really phenomenal soup dumplings, check out Dumpling Home in Hayes Valley in San Francisco. Those are the closest to the xiaolongbao I've had in Shanghai.
That's good.
The Sichuan spicy noodles arrived next. I would say they were good. The noodles were springy and chewy, and the cucumbers were refreshing. And the sauce was mala spicy, so slightly numbing. But the portion could have been bigger. You probably can't tell in the video, but the bowls are really small. I was pretty disappointed by the wontons and chili oil. The order came with like 6 tiny wontons that barely had any filling in it, and mostly skin, and they weren't very good. And chili oil just had no flavor. I'd give these like a 2 out of 10, and I would not order them again.